Hello, and welcome back to Sawdog Woodworking. Today I want to show you how to build a bevel jig. Now I built this out of just a lot of leftover materials that I have here in the shop. I've been working on this vanity table for my daughter, and I wanted to kind of add a little bit of a taper to these legs. An easy and safe way to do that is with a jig. And again, as I said, I didn't have one. I also don't have any money because I've just got this business off the ground and the budget's a little tight, to say the least. So I decided to see what I had lying around. I've got some bolts, some nuts, a few brackets, and I was able to put this together. I doubt this is going to be my permanent use one. I'll probably build a better one later on and have an updated video for that. But if you're looking for a good bevel jig in a pinch, this one actually worked out really well. So today I'm going to show you how to build it. Let's get started. If I'm being perfectly honest, I didn't actually have a full-fledged plan going into this. I had an idea on what I was looking for, but I also didn't know if I was going to have all the parts. Thankfully, I have this apothecary case that my grandfather built decades ago. Some of the parts in here have been in it for well over 50 years. And for some reason, it's magical. I keep being able to find things that I need out of it. So I needed two nuts, I needed a spacer, a bolt, and a bracket, and a couple of washers as well. And you'll see how all those come into play later on. I had some scrap 3/4 inch plywood, so I'm going to square up one edge, and I'm going to flip it around, and I'm cutting rough widths right now. Once these are all glued up, I'm going to then come back through, and then we'll cut them to their final width. But for now, like I said, this is just a squaring up and rough cutting everything. Then I'm going to do the same on the miter saw. I'm not cutting them to their full length. I'm going to get as much length out of these as I can, but I am planning on being able to cut at least 1/8 of an inch off either end just to square it up and make it nice and flush once it's glued. So this is just regular wood glue. I'm only gluing one side of each of these. These two pieces are going to go together, so when you're putting them together, just be careful because you don't want to glue all 4 of them together. You can clamp them separately to conserve on clamps because I was using other clamps elsewhere. I glued all 4, or I clamped all 4 together, but again, making sure that I didn't have glue in between the separate pieces. So once I was done with that, came over to the table saw. Now I'm cutting it to their final width. And back over to the miter saw to cut them to their final length. You can see I'm just taking the tiniest bit off just to flush up those edges. Then back to the apothecary because I realized I also needed a hinge. So I've got, as I said, call me a hoarder, but I'm an organized hoarder. And sure enough, I found a nice hinge. So give everything a sand. I'm going to round over a lot of the edges, ease the sharpness of them. Just make sure that as I'm using this, I'm not going to grab a splinter or that anything's going to get hung up on the piece, the table saw, or the rip fence. I'm going to clamp these together just to make it easier to work with. Then I'm going to mark the holes where the hinges are going. This is the hinge end that I'm going to be putting together right now. And I'm just marking the holes. I'm going to pre-drill all these holes just so I don't split the plywood. And then I'm using small 3/4 inch screws to hold the hinge in place. Once that's in, it moves. From there, we're going to try working on the mechanism. Now, I'm drilling a pilot hole through the end of the bolt. I use a little bit of oil. I had used a center punch to put a little dimple in the end of that bolt because it's really hard getting a drill bit started on something round. And when you're doing this, please wear safety glasses. I have had drill bits ping off of my safety glasses when they snap. I've screwed this bracket down to this scrap board just so I can enlarge the hole on it so that the bolt is going to fit through it. I didn't need 2 holes on this, so I'm cutting this down just so that I can have 1 hole each. This was a double hole bracket. Then I'm going to take a file and I want to ease all those edges, get all the sharp burrs off, just make sure nothing's going to get caught. And I do that to both sides. Do it on the flat as well, any of the drill burrs that were left. And then I'm going to come over to my bolt. I'm also going to take a file and I clean up those threads from where I drilled a hole through as well. Now I'm marking where the hole for the bracket is going to go. There is a washer under the bracket just to make it a smoother slide, because I do want this bracket to be able to move. As you're adjusting the angle, that bracket is going to want to move with that angle. So you don't want this on absolutely tight. See how it's moving? I have a washer underneath there just to alleviate some of the friction that the wood might cause on there. Now I've put the bolt through, and I'm pushing my awl down so that I know where the hole is going to be. That is parallel right now to that bracket because the jig is closed. When you're putting this together, you want to make sure that you have a nut on either side of the bracket. So I put a nut on, I will slide the bolt through the bracket, then I am going to put another nut on the other side. I have a small spacer underneath the bolt. You can use multiple washers if you want. I happen to have this plastic bushing that I think I got out of a TV mounting bracket case. So there's our mechanism put together. On the end, I want to have a little stopper so that our piece doesn't fly out on us and either damage the piece or damage us. All I did here was I took another angle bracket and I flattened it out in my bench vise, and I'm just using the holes that came in the bracket itself to screw it to the end. Now that that's done, let's try it out. This video is sped up slightly for editing purposes, so it does not slide through my saw this quickly, but you can see how nice it does on those bevels. I did a double bevel on these legs, so I did one pass through, did not adjust the bevel jig at all, and then I ran it through one more time just to get a nice little taper on this. Once the saw blade had stopped, I put my fingers there. And that is our beveled leg. And here's our finished jig. If you couldn't see the mechanism I was building in the video, here's a closer look at it. This is where we drilled a hole through the bolt. There's a flathead panhead screw right here, little spacer right back here just to keep it level with the whole thing. You've got your bracket here, and then two nuts that just do all the work. So I can loosen and tighten those to wherever I want that bevel to go. And once it's there, tighten the lock nut behind it, put a wrench on there, make it nice and tight, and now it won't move. On the back side here, I have a stopper so that my piece won't kick out on us and ruin the bevel or your body. And this part here glides nicely along your fence. And it worked really well. It changed really how doing beveled legs goes for me. I've usually freehanded them. Highly don't recommend. But again, I didn't have one of these, and I just slowly guided it through my saw. It wasn't easy. This made it so that I could make quick repetitive cuts a lot safer. Excuse me. So if you make one of these, I'd love to see it. I have 169 subscribers as of this morning, which, by the way, thank you. You invite me into your shop and your lives. Every time I put a video out, a few of you are nice enough to reach out and give some great feedback. I'd love to hear from more of you, and I'd love to see what you're working on. So please, if you can attach some pictures of your stuff into the comments, we can share that. But next week, I'm going to be working on showing you how I built this table here. It's a vanity for my daughter, and that's where the stool came in. There's no seat yet. That'll be in that video. That's next week. So until then, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate anything you can do to promote this video, promote any of my channel in general. Like, subscribe. It costs you nothing and it means the world to me. So until I see you again, thank you and bye.